shuttling all the motorcycles from the garage to the front of the hotel, so everybody can just put their luggage on there and doesn't have to walk all the way to the garage. And then at the same time we're loading 2 of the bikes in the van, so we could take them without having to be ridden. And then it's time to get prepped for the briefing. There you go. All of the motorcycles have taken off, which means it's now time to get all the luggage into the van, and then I'll head for where they're gonna have lunch to try and beat them there, make sure everything's set up and prepared for when they get there. So yeah, let's haul some bags into a van. So we got all the luggage in the van. Now I'm about to take off. Make sure we get to the restaurant in time and enjoy the view along the way, which is pretty good. Sun is shining. It's a little bit, well, cooler is maybe not the right word today. Not as warm as it was yesterday, which is actually a good thing. It's nice. Yesterday was very hot. So yeah, nice and relaxing day in the van. See where it takes us today. So I just tried to get to the Parador, which is basically a castle on top of the hill, so it's all very narrow streets, and there's some sort of event today with people doing a hike or a run, so we're all wearing these numbers on their shirts. Basically meant that with the big van I was not able to get to the hotel, so I spent a little bit of time waiting there just to make sure that the group didn't need anything. And now I'm on my way to Ronda. They should be arriving at the hotel. They're a little bit early, so they won't be able to have lunch there yet, or they have to wait a long time, because here lunch doesn't start until 1 earliest, and even that's a stretch. outside the hotel waiting for the guests to arrive. They are currently at the gas station filling up the bikes. In a few minutes they'll be coming around the corner, and then we'll park in front of the hotel down there. So yeah, let's wait for them to arrive. 3 hinterm Bus. This is the last day that we're going to be driving to Spain. We're going to be riding up to Córdoba, where we're going to stay the night, and then from there, actually tomorrow, they are going to still ride to Malaga, but then they will fly into Morocco, and I will go ahead. I will drive to Malaga today, fly tomorrow morning, so I can prepare all the motorcycles on the other side. We're going to load up the van again today, make sure all the luggage gets to Córdoba. Once they arrive, I take off to Malaga, and then the whole parade goes on. we've actually made it to our hotel, it doesn't mean that the work's done, because there's always something more to prepare for tomorrow, to get sorted. So now I'm currently working on the blog, which we write for every tour. These blogs are meant for anybody that's interested in a tour, so they can have a look, get an idea for what it feels like. But it's also something to keep as a memory if you just want to read back on what you've been doing, or to send to the family so they can see what we've been up to on our tours. So make sure to check it out. Go to our website, have a look, check out the blogs. They're very fun to read. There's some nice pictures, so it really gives you an idea of what the tours are like. So check that out on edelweissbiketravel.com. Nobu.
Ok.
Nobu.
Le même hôtel. Novo.
N-O-B-U.
Ça fait Novo.
Nobu.
Ah,
Yeah.
Novo.